Welcome to US Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: pictured, migrants cling to train on journey to US. Toronto Argos honored by City Hall with flag-raising ceremony to celebrate 150th anniversary. The 2024 Tony Awards set June 16 ceremony with a new location at Lincoln Center. It's a new party, how conservatives are trying to rebuild trust in Muslim communities. Hunter Biden weighs fundraising options as legal bills top $10 million. Pictured, migrants cling to train on journey to US. Telegraph. Thousands of Venezuelan migrants have been traveling through Mexico in an attempt to reach the United States. Many of them remain at the US-Mexico border for weeks or even months while waiting for an appointment with US Customs and Border Protection. The mass migration is a result of the ongoing humanitarian crisis in Venezuela, which has led to dire poverty and political repression. Over 7.13 million migrants and refugees have fled the country. Toronto Argos honored by City Hall with flag-raising ceremony to celebrate 150th anniversary. The Toronto Star. The Toronto Argonauts, a professional Canadian football team, are celebrating their 150th anniversary. The team, which started as a rowing club in 1873, is considered the oldest professional sports team in North America to still use its original name. The Argonauts have won a total of 18 Grey Cup titles, making them the most successful team in CFL history. In addition to their on-field success, the team has also been praised for their community work, including being the first team to welcome Black players as an integrated team. The team is hosting several events and celebrations throughout the week to mark the milestone. The 2024 Tony Awards set June 16 ceremony with a new location at Lincoln Center. The Toronto Star. The Tony Awards for this season will take place on June 16 at Lincoln Center for the Performing Arts in New York City. The new location for the awards ceremony is the David H. Koch Theater, which is located in the same building complex as the Broadway venue Beaumont Theater. The Tony eligibility cutoff date for the 2023 to 2024 season is April 25, and nominations will be announced on April 30. The Tony Awards are presented by the Broadway League and the American Theatre Wing. It's a new party, how conservatives are trying to rebuild trust in Muslim communities. CBC. Conservative Party candidate for Canada's next federal election, Pierre Poilievre, is appealing to Muslim Canadians by focusing on faith, family, and freedom. In an effort to regain support from racialized Canadians who turned away from the party during Stephen Harper's divisive 2015 campaign, Poilievre has been addressing concerns from Muslim parents about LGBTQ+ issues taught in schools. However, it remains unclear whether he will take action on this issue through party policy. Additionally, many Muslim Canadians are cautious about whether Poilievre will address the Islamophobia they feel the party exacerbated when it was last in power. Poilievre has been cautious in his approach to the issue of parental rights and LGBTQ+ issues in schools. While he has criticized Prime Minister Justin Trudeau for getting involved in the debate, he has not yet offered any concrete solutions. At the Conservative Party's policy convention last month, members voted in favor of prohibiting minors with gender dysphoria from receiving life-altering treatments. Poilievre said he is studying this policy, but his office has not revealed any conclusions. Muslim parents have expressed concerns that their children are facing backlash for opting out of LGBTQ+ lessons or activities. The Conservative Party is trying to regain support from Muslim Canadians, whose support declined during the Harper government. The party has a history of policies that have been perceived as discriminatory, such as banning face coverings during citizenship ceremonies and proposing a tip line for reporting barbaric cultural practices. Poilievre has been meeting with immigrant and racialized communities, but many Muslim Canadians are skeptical and want concrete plans to address Islamophobia. They are also concerned that the current debate around LGBTQ+ issues will increase Islamophobia and harm Muslim families and children. Hunter Biden weighs fundraising options as legal bills top $10 million. CNN. Hunter Biden has run up more than $10 million in legal bills over the past 5 years, with the possibility of millions more to come as he faces federal charges. The legal bills have been incurred through a federal investigation into him, his divorce and custody dispute in Arkansas, and lawsuits against political detractors. Friends and allies had hoped that funding would have come by now from top supporters of his father, President Joe Biden. However, this has not happened, and there is concern over who will pay the bills if he goes to trial on gun charges, to which he pleaded not guilty last week. The financial burden is causing concern for the White House, which is already dealing with federal and congressional investigations into Hunter Biden's businesses. The president's son had been expected to plead guilty in July to 2 misdemeanor charges in order to avoid a felony gun charge, but the deal collapsed under scrutiny from a federal judge. The White House declined to comment on the matter. FAA must address U.S. air traffic staffing crunch, nominee says. Reuters. Michael Whitaker, the Biden administration's nominee for the head of the Federal Aviation Administration, has stated that the agency must address the ongoing shortage of air traffic controllers that has been causing flight delays. Whitaker, a former deputy FAA administrator, has suggested the creation of a second air traffic controller academy to address staffing shortfalls. The FAA recently announced that it will extend cuts to minimum flight requirements at congested New York City area airports until October 2024. U.S. crude stockpiles fell last week on higher exports, gasoline builds, EIA. The Globe and Mail. U.S. crude oil stockpiles fell to their lowest level this year due to strong export demand, according to the Energy Information Administration, EIA. Crude inventories dropped by 2.2 million barrels in the week to September 29 to 414.1 million barrels, the lowest level since December 2022. Crude exports rose by 944,000 barrels per day to nearly 5 million bpd, while net crude imports fell by 1.96 million bpd. However, gasoline inventories rose by 6.5 million barrels to 227 million barrels, the highest level since January 2022. Fed has yet to face final reckoning 2 years after trading scandal. Reuters. An internal watchdog at the Federal Reserve, appointed to investigate the trading activities of former presidents of the Dallas and Boston branches, has yet to submit a final report 2 years after the probe began. The delay has frustrated lawmakers and experts who believe the investigation should have been completed long ago. While legislative efforts to increase transparency and overhaul central bank ethics have made little progress, the Fed itself has tightened rules around officials investing and clamped down on when transactions can be made. The watchdog's office declined to comment on the state of the investigation. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your friendly neighborhood 6 Doctor here, bringing you the latest news and quirky updates from the 6-degree world. Let's dive right in, shall we? First up, we have a migration crisis brewing as thousands of Venezuelan migrants attempt to reach the United States through Mexico. These individuals are fleeing the dire poverty and political repression in their home country, adding to the already overwhelming number of migrants and refugees worldwide. It's a heartbreaking situation that highlights the urgent need for humanitarian aid and support. On a lighter note, the Toronto Argonauts, Canada's oldest professional sports team, are celebrating their 150th anniversary. From rowing club to football champions, this team has a rich history and a strong community presence. Kudos to the Argos for their on-field success and for being a trailblazer in integrating Black players into their team. Here's to another 150 years of success. In the world of entertainment, mark your calendars for the 2024 Tony Awards, happening on June 16 at a new location, the David H. Koch Theater in New York City. It's a night of glitz, glamour, and celebration of the best of Broadway. Get ready for the drama, the music, and the fabulous outfits. Now let's talk politics. The Conservative Party in Canada is trying to rebuild trust in Muslim communities, with candidate Pierre Poilievre focusing on faith, family, and freedom. It's a step in the right direction, but many Muslim Canadians remain cautious and want concrete plans to address the Islamophobia they've experienced in the past. Let's hope the Conservative Party can back up their words with action. Speaking of politics, Hunter Biden, son of President Joe Biden, is facing hefty legal bills, racking up over $10 million in the past 5 years. The question remains, who will foot the bill? It's a financial headache for the White House, which is already dealing with other investigations into Hunter Biden's businesses. Stay tuned to see how this legal saga unfolds. In aviation news, the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, nominee, Michael Whitaker, is calling for action on the shortage of air traffic controllers, which has been causing flight delays. Whitaker suggests creating a second air traffic controller academy to address the staffing shortfall. Let's hope this proposal takes off and keeps our skies running smoothly. And finally, some news from the energy sector. U.S. crude oil stockpiles have hit their lowest level this year due to strong export demand. However, gasoline inventories have risen to the highest level since January 2022. It's a delicate balancing act in the world of energy, and it's always interesting to see how these fluctuations impact our daily lives. That's all for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed this whirlwind tour of the news. Remember, I'm always here to keep you informed and entertained in the wacky world of the 6th degree. Now it's time for you to join the conversation. What are your thoughts on these news stories? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.